Hey guys. So we are going to continue talking about different types of sentences today. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about what a complete sentence is, a run-on sentence, and a sentence fragment. And so I'm just going to review those sentences again. A complete sentence has a subject and a verb and an object. So your subject is your who or your what. And then your verb is your action. So, what are they doing? And then the object usually comes after that subject and verb. So, if we look at a complete sentence right here, we have Claire walks her dog. And Claire is the subject. She's the who or the what. And what did Claire do? What was her action? She walks. Okay, that's your verb. And then who or what did she walk? She walked her dog. So that's the object. Okay, and that is a complete sentence. It is a complete thought. Okay, and then if we look here at a run-on sentence, remember a run-on sentence goes on and on and on. There's no punctuation, so no periods or commas or question marks or exclamation marks. You have more than one complete thought where you could put a period in or maybe a comma in so that you know to pause before you keep reading. When I'm reading a run-on sentence, if there's no punctuation, then I don't pause when I'm reading and I run out of breath. Okay, so let's look at this run-on sentence. Claire walks her dog every day and then goes to the park for a run and then goes home and makes breakfast and then feeds her dog. Whew, so I ran out of breath when I was reading that run-on sentence because there was no punctuation. We have two or three complete thoughts. So Claire walks her dog every day. That's one complete thought. Then goes to the park for a run. There's another complete thought. Then goes home and makes breakfast. There's another complete thought. Then she feeds her dog, and there's another complete thought. Okay, so that is a run-on sentence. Goes on and on. And then the last type of sentence we're going to look at is a sentence fragment. Okay, and it is missing information. It's usually pieces of a sentence. So this sentence fragment says Claire walks. Well, it's missing some information. I have the subject, the who or the what, Claire, and then the verb, what did she do? She walks. Okay, but who is she walking or where is she walking? So there's some missing information there. That's a sentence fragment. Okay, and so now you are going to identify types of sentences like you did yesterday. Okay, so the first sentence says, the troops did not return to Britain. Is this a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? The troops did not return to Britain. So I have my subject, the troops. Okay, that's our who or our what. And what do the troops do or not do? They did not return. So return is your verb, that's your action. Where did they not return to? Britain. So there's your object. Okay, so is that a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? Okay, the next sentence says, an island in Boston Harbor. Is that a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? An island in Boston Harbor. Okay, so I have my subject, which is island. That's the who or the what. It's in Boston Harbor, but do I know anything else? Do I have an action, a verb? Do I have an object? An island in Boston Harbor. Okay, so that is not a complete thought. So is that a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? The next sentence says, for the soldiers' own safety, their trials were postponed a few months so that the Boston citizens could calm down, and Hutchinson was forced to remove the troops from the city, which was a victory for the Sons of Liberty. Whew. So I ran out of breath reading that sentence. There was no punctuation. We had more than one complete thought. So is that a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? And the last sentence says, John Adams, Samuel Adams' cousin, believed that Britain's actions in the colonies were unjust, and John was a lawyer, so he believed that the laws, not propaganda, would solve the problems, and John and Josiah Quincy agreed to be the defending lawyers at the soldiers' trials. Whew, ran out of breath again. So there was no punctuation. We had several complete thoughts where punctuation could have been added. So is that a complete sentence, a run-on sentence, or a sentence fragment? Choose your answer.